Hey, what's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel, the car shipping business channel. My name is Jay. You know, my goal every Tuesday night is to bring you another trade show level business presentation to you wherever you are, because your automotive business deserves the latest in transportation news. And if you're busy, and I know you are, in a minute, I'm going to give the welcome show lineup. You'll know what to expect. If you're watching on demand, you'll see the clickable time code links in the video description below. Please leave a comment. Remember to like, share, tell your friends. Thanks for watching ATI. You know, Ty and I love to go to industry trade shows, and this year we've been blessed with the opportunity to get to know better the International Automotive Remarketers Alliance, the IARA. We also made new friends at Bobit Business Media and Car Conference, so tonight, Ty and I will start with an interview with Martin Romjue, content editor at Bobit Business Media, and we'll learn more together about the IARA 20th Anniversary Special Edition. We'll also welcome Scott Kolb, Dave Langley, Matt Arias, Charlie Vogelheim, Tony Long, and Jeff Bescher, all significant and key members of the IARA. This show is going to be cool, so please join the live chat, ask your questions, share your thoughts, grow your business, because it's Tuesday nights live on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back to the show. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back again. Auto Transport Intel, Tuesday nights live. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on a Tuesday night. It's episode 218 in a row, but let's do this. First, I want you to feel welcome. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for taking the time. Please do feel welcome. Please do feel like you can say hello in the live chat. Let us know what's going on with you. Whether you're a carrier, a dispatcher, a broker, you work at an auction, you're a dealer, you're with an OEM, software, services, equipment, regulations, everybody's welcome on Auto Transport Intel. Thank you so much. At the quarter hour, we're going to go into industry news. It's coming up fast. National news, social media news, front of the store, back of the store, what's being talked about. And yes, thank you so much, because then we're going to hang out with Martin Romjue, content editor at Bobit Business Media, and we're going to learn more about, we got this. This is the print. You see that print version of the magazine? We're going to find out more about what Martin put together, because we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of the IARA. So we have to celebrate. We have co-founder Scott Kolb, father of the organization Dave Langley. We're going to bring in Matt Arias and spend some time with him. He loves to talk about arbitration, condition reports, etc. We're going to keep the party going. We're going to bring in Charlie Vogelheim, Tony Long, Jeff Bescher. Jeff is the incoming president. they'll tell you more all about it, because I'm just here I'm here for the liftoff, and then actually I'm going to talk nonstop for the next 35 minutes or so, and then I'm going to pass the baton as best as I can. So please do jump right in, say hello. Do me a favor, go ahead and leave a like. Thank you so much. And you can click share, click copy, grab that YouTube link, text it, email it, share it on social media, send it to a friend. Say, listen, this is it. We're going to celebrate. It's like an office party. It's an early Christmas party. It's a happy birthday, happy anniversary. Don't forget, if you don't know what to do, you need help, we had one today. Go to autotransportintel.com, click on sign up, become an ATI insider. Let us know how we can help you. We'll connect you with someone in our network, or Ty will give you a sit down, pull up a chair, have a one-on-one. What is going on? How can we help you in your business? And do me a favor, jump into the live chat. I'm going to just do this now. Ty? ATI to the moon, diamond hands. What is going on, buddy? Thank you so much for the super chat, and everybody else that jumps in with the live chat, with the super chat. Do me a favor, right after this, we're going to go into the live chat. I'll be right back.
The ACV Transportation team is always looking to expand our network to safe and reliable carriers. As an ACV carrier, there are many perks that allow us to become one of the fastest growing carrier partners in the nation. ACV carriers have access to our job board with thousands of new jobs listed every day. You do not need to pay for access, and every job listed is exclusive to our carrier partners. Interested in a job? While you stage a job on the job board, no other carriers have visibility to that job for 15 minutes, giving you the time to make the best decisions for your business. Get paid within 1 to 2 business days. Our jobs are exclusively dealer to dealer, which means no more walking in large auction lots to find the vehicle you're looking for. Be one of the thousands of carriers who grew their business in partnership with ACV.
Dealer, transport, peace of mind. Carriers pick up, deliver, and get paid on time. Join the nationwide network at acvauctions.com/ATI. Sign up with Carrier by ACV Transportation. Your links are right there in the live chat. Thanks for saying hello and jumping in tonight. I'm going to back this up to the top. Kimberly got in here first. Welcome to Tuesday Nights Live. Please let us know if it's your first time here. Yeah, let us know what's going on. I saw Powered by Peterson in there. What's up? Yes. Company name. What matters to you? Put it in the live chat. What matters to you? What are you thinking about right now? What are you happy about? What are you angry about? Put it in the live chat. Ty loves auctions. Who doesn't? Carlos Braxton, ACB Logistics in the house. Joseph McCleary is here. What's going on, Joe? Super Dispatch. What's up, ATI gang? Let's see here. Oh, Silver Mint. Is this where I can find used cars? Yes. Yes, Silvermint. And this is where you can make preposterous guesses when we ask the trivia questions in about 15 minutes. 20 minutes, give or take. Yep, Vistaga, Powered by Peterson. John Larrick is here. What's up, John? Mark Rodeke. Hey, Jay, checking in a couple minutes behind. Oh, no, you're right on time, man. Right on time. And we'll keep the live chat open for a few more minutes. So what has been going on? So obviously we had the holidays, and yeah, that was pretty cool. And I think the nice thing about Thanksgiving is if you don't wish happy holidays to the people you want to wish it to, you get another chance. Christmas, here it comes. Here's your second chance. I think that's what it is all about. Second chances. Yeah, no, I ate a lot, and I rested a lot, and I don't think I wished enough people happy holidays. So, because you see it on LinkedIn, but I mean that one-on-one. Hey man, how you doing? Happy turkey leg, kind of thing. And then Mark and I, this is cool too. Mark, we were following up after Used Car Week. That's what's on my mind right now. By the way, Mike, check 1 2. I'm following up with Used Car Week stuff. that's pretty much going to take me through the rest of the year. Is I met so many people at Used Car Week. We talked about so many different show ideas and networking and business, advertising, media, marketing. That's what happens at the trade shows. And so, in fact, I'll be telling you, I'll just tease it up in the industry news. You're going to find out what the next 2 shows are. So you're going to want to stick around for that. So we've got industry news coming up soon, and I'll probably get to that early because, hey, what's up, Joe? Yep, checking in. Everyone's saying hello to Mark. And also, and I do know that IARA 20th anniversary. This is so did you get this? I got the copy right here, and I was flipping through it, and what I'm excited about tonight is, I just spent this year, got to know many of the folks from the IARA that we're going to have on tonight, but there was 19 years before this year that I wasn't familiar, and I'm looking forward to. Actually, there's some timelines. I like magazines. I like having print copies. Yeah, here we go. There's some timeline stuff right here. 2001. See that there? Oh, you can't see that. 2001 to 2021. IARA historical timeline. 2001. IARA was established by Dave Langley, Scott Kolb. Yep, they're there, and they're here tonight. That was, 20 years ago. 2002, 2003, 2004. Wow, they got stuff every year. And then there was also, there's this page in here where it got into the tech timeline. That's always cool to see, too. Like, it makes you think, hey, do you have a tech milestone timeline that you can share with your business? Yeah, sure. And you know what's interesting, too, on the tech milestones, it starts with Q1 2017. So what, yeah, wow, right? When we talk about technology, mobile apps, load boards, actually, I will say this, I was checking my notes today, earlier, and, hey, when was Central Dispatch created? Huh? Let's do this. What year was Central Dispatch load board launched, created, and accessible for the first time? Anybody know? Is it 1987, 1994, 1999, or 2004? Go ahead and put that in the live chat. I just made... Look at that, Mark. Huh? How do you like that, Larry? Transport Auto Quoter Llama. I'll tell you what. Here, let's do this. Here's this. And then right after this, we're going to go into industry news. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Transport Auto Quoter is by far the leading auto quoting software on the market, and the only auto quoter with a pro version that comes preset with accurate pricing for anywhere in the U.S. So you don't have to worry about it. The best part is that no change with your current software is needed. Just plug TAQ in and start booking jobs. Carriers can easily plug TAQ into their current websites and start making money right away. I bet you're wondering how we do this instantly and accurately 24/7. Well, constant analytics is the key. Our Price Watch team is constantly monitoring current market conditions, paying close attention to seasonal and quick-moving industry changes. At the end of the day, it takes a lot of time and data to maintain good pricing, time that most of us just don't have on a daily basis. So free yourself up. Using TAQ Pro is really a no-brainer. Save time and money, maximizing your leads and optimizing your online investments. You'll finally be able to sleep well at night knowing that TAQ is on the job selling for you 24/7. Never missing a potential job.
Do you need an auto shipping quote? Provide instant, accurate quotes online with Transport Auto Quoter by Superflow Systems. Visit transportautoquoter.com. You got the links right there in the live chat. So that's it. Bing! I think it's 1999. I do believe that's what I have in my notes. And then, and this is when it was a privately owned website, load board, if you will. And then I believe it was in the 2000s when then DealerTrack acquired it. DealerTrack was then later acquired by Cox Automotive. I think that's true. Can we get a fact checker on that? So let's do this. Let's go into some industry news. Here we go. Show number 218 in a row on a Tuesday night. Right? Super Dispatch? I know, I love that too. It's a good spot. Thank you. And Mitchell Mack, what's going on? Authority active, ready to haul some cars. Sweet. Mitchell, you're going to love next week's show. Stick around. It was so close before the... yeah, dude. Okay, 218 in a row on a Tuesday night. IARA 20th anniversary. We're celebrating the special edition issue. And there it is. There's a picture of the issue. I've got my copy. And I will share. You know, International Automotive Remarketers Alliance, the IARA, the voice of the consignor. What's a consignor? Need help? Put it in the live chat. I guarantee there's an IARA person out there be happy to tell you more about what consignors are and do. It's a safe place. Ask your questions. Go to, you can do it right there, IARA.biz. Go to the website. Click on conferences. I did. Here's the mission. This is your opportunity to become engaged with IARA, to interact with industry colleagues, and to evolve both personally and professionally. Let's join together to help remarketing recover and stay strong. That's the mission of the IARA at its shows. Also, car certification. You've heard of this? Certified Automotive Remarketer Program Overview. What is that? This is a curriculum. You can get information, education. We'll talk more about the 20 modules. But we are so happy to help celebrate that we got to meet and make friends in the IARA. There's Ty in San Antonio. There's Ty with Tony Long. So this one here, this is Charlie Vogelheim and Scott Kolb. And then this one is Tony Long. All three gents, actually all four gentlemen will be on the show tonight. We're so excited. When we talk about... well, thank you, Mark. Thank you very much. That's Mark Rodeke. Mark Rodeke, Superflow Systems, happy to help celebrate the 20-year with IARA. Thank you so much, Mark. And thank you, IARA. We are so happy that we have this channel where we can help celebrate you, and you see it. We're going to be having more celebrations on this channel. We got the content just keeps expanding. You know, I talk about the verticals, OEMs, auctions, dealers, shippers, services, brokers, carriers, equipment, regulations, and loads. I now do that, whatchamacallit, onomatopoeia style, stream of consciousness. Bam! Tonight we're talking about auctions, services, regulations is a big part. That's why Matt Arias is here to throw down the law. And then we also, dealers and shippers, when you think dealer, think buyer, think consignor. And then the loads themselves. Obviously, carriers and brokers and equipment are in there too, but I've got to pick the intersection somewhere. Back of the store, front of the store, and around it goes. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Transport parking lot to dealer sales. We connect them. It's the year of the hybrid. Digital meets physical. Digital met physical. It's now past tense. Because when we say the auction is a packed house, you'll find Ty shaking hands in San Antonio with Matt Arias. Yeah, there's Matt. Matt will be on the show tonight. You know, all right, so let's do a little timeline here. Let's do our own little ATI IARA getting to know each other timeline. Here's what's happening. So earlier this year, in March 18th, there was a virtual conference, you know, because we were still in kind of lockdownish. You been to lockdownish? So March 18th, they had a virtual conference, and because of some of the shows I did and some of the connections I made, they were kind enough to let me be a part of their virtual conference and host a panel. I hosted the Transportation and Logistics panel. Mannheim, Assertis, United Road, Vroom, all present. That was March 18th. It was pretty interesting. And they're pretty friendly bunch. I think I look the most skeptical. Moving on. So I then had a show kind of celebrating that and thanking the IARA. We had a transportation logistics panel show. And you see, there we go. There's the smiles. This is Jeff Bescher over here, incoming president. Tony Long, who is a key member of the IARA, Michelle Pirog, and she was the one that kind of helped bring me into moderating the panel. And then Dave Sutton, who took us hiking in the desert in Vegas just a couple weeks ago at Used Car Week. So then the next chapter is in the summer, in August. The IARA held its summer roundtable, and we sent Ty on location to go mingle with the people. Now, this is after Car Conference, that's Bobit Business Media, but we learned more of why we had to go live in San Antonio, and we did it. And the IARA Summer Roundtable, lots of committee meetings that first day. And then there were sessions on the second day, and you can see some of that, and it's available on the website, I do believe, or on some of my past shows. Then we put out the social media. Black Widow made an appearance. That's Drew Honeke from Milwaukee Auto Auction, Greater Milwaukee, I think so. And Martin Romjue was there with us. That was a party. Day 2 comes along. There's Scott Kolb, Martin, Becky Anderson from Cars Recon, Joe Miller, Auto IMS, and then after we had the roundtable energy. I guess that was leading up to. I'm out of order here. Dang it. It's all right. Fix it in post. IARA Roundtable Energy. This was the show leading up to the show, and more friends, making friends, saying hello. Some of these trade shows, and then boom. I think Tony said it best. Boom. Ty making more friends there in San Antonio. And Tammy Swofford. Will you help us build relationships? Absolutely. Great times. Hey, there's one of our gang members, Lawrence Moore, car hauler. Lawrence has the distinction of being most attended at trade shows because of Auto Transport Intel. What do you think about that? Here, we'll go ahead and queue up. Let's see. Can we do it? Can we queue up in we can get Lawrence an applause. Well done, Lawrence. That's awesome. So cool. Holy cow. Did you see this? Bang. Wow. Look at that. Super Dispatch. Ringing the cowbell. Dealers, auctions, and remarketers need transport too. Thanks to ATI for rounding up all the verticals surrounding transport and putting them in the same room. Well, thank you for the recognition, the support, participation. Sure do appreciate it. It means a lot. Thank you. Matt Arias and Jeff West, superstars. Nice. See what else we got in here. Oh, and then there's awards. There's Paul Seeger, Trisha Heehan with the NAAA, Mike Antich, and Tony Long. And there's Martin. We're going to see more Martin tonight. Martin made a lot of the live coverage. And then, so we had before with the energy. Then we went live at the show. Why not? Let's hit it again after the roundtable. Matt was back talking about condition reports. Oh, and then we did the Better Condition Reports show. Because, you just have to dedicate a whole show to them. And then we had, there's Brian Shear with conditionreports.com. Joe Miller made it back. Tim Scatalis, Joel Hawk with Black Widow. Awesome. And then you can find that stuff. If you missed it, you can find it. It's on the Auto Transport Intel YouTube page. Click on IARA Summer Roundtable. This is how you get your car shipping news. Wow, it's 8:25. We're still on time. Can't even believe it. Amazing how that happens. Don't even know. But here's what you can do. Put it up on the big screen. You guys ready? Get ready, because here we go. Fingers on the buzzers. We're about to do Are you a car shipping guru? Here we go. Now, do remember, you can go to dispatchcenter.com/ask Larry. You can guess, put in your guesses. And Mark is here too. If you have any questions about it, Mark is here. So you ready? Question 1. Here we go. According to the NAAA structural damage policy, vehicles lacking a properly assigned title or reassignment to transfer title at time of sale must sell within what color light on? Must sell with what color light on? Ooh. Oh, wow. Green, yellow, red, or blue? Vehicles lacking properly assigned title or reassignment to transfer a title. Green, yellow, red, or blue. I'm going to go with yellow. Caution? God, it's probably just a terrible guess. Yellow, red, blue. Does anybody know this? Can I get a... I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to make a phone call, Larry. I'm going to throw out a lifeline. I have no idea. It's not green. Vehicles lacking properly assigned title. I'm going to go with either red or yellow. I don't know. I'm just going to put... I said yellow first. That isn't the structural damage policy. Ooh. Ooh. Interesting. Wow, look at that. Sink or swim. Sink or sink. Sink or sink is like, dude, no, correction. Wow. Normal policy. Wow. Thank you. Well, thank you for tuning in and clarifying. That's what it's all about. Shoot. I'm going to give you the siren. That is awesome. Oh, wow. Look at this. Green light, but with a title that is non-negotiable, you can't sell it. Yellow, if I remember correctly. Hey, what's up, Chris? Love it. Okay, well, sink or sink. I'm expecting good things out of you. Here we go. Question 2. What is the most appropriate carrier pay amount to ship a 2018 Jeep Compass from Denmark, New York to Vienna, Missouri? $680, $890, $1095, or $1380? Definitely going to see the carriers in the audience tonight. Jeep Compass 2018. Jeeps are short, right? Denmark, New York, no idea where that is. Could be north, could be south, could be east. Vienna, Missouri, no idea where Vienna, Missouri is. So I'm just going to go with... I'll say $890, but I want $1095. Yep, I want $1095. Sirens. What's up, B Logistics? Anybody got a guess on this one? What do you guys say? Silver Mint. Give me the 5 figures with a decimal. Check it for rust. Ooh, nice. Check it for rust first. Nice. Is Denmark? Is that up near the water? Is it near big water? Okay. Okay, Jay. You've had your fun. Anybody? Last guesses? Check. 890. Ooh, that's what I got, B Logistics. I got 890. I mean, again, I want 1095, but I think it'll move for 890. You know, that's the thing about Larry. Alexa, open Quotify. Larry, the Transport Auto Quoter Llama, visit transportautoquoter.com, knows the market rate to get it moved. That's what it is. That's the number. Okay, here we go. Question 3. Which of the following is the controlled disposal of fleet and leasing vehicles that have reached the end of their fixed term? Auto remarketing, lease renewal, vehicle processing, auto renewal. I'm going to go with... I want to say auto remarketing. Controlled disposal of fleet. I'm going to go with auto remarketing. Vehicle processing? No, I like the 1380. Yeah. No, it's not your lane, Silvermint. Oh, we finally found Silvermint's not lane. Sink or sink? Where are you? I'm going to throw a lifeline. I need help on this one. Auto remarketing, vehicle processing, lease renewal, or auto renewal. If you're joining on the podcast, thank you so much for doing so. Let's see here. Let me share the link here. What you can do is, let's see here. If you are not on the podcast yet, here's the link. Thank you so much. And also, if you, let's say you just, you're like, this makes me think of something I want these guys to do. What you can do is send in the news, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Oh, it's vehicle processing, is it? The controlled disposal of fleet and leasing vehicles, vehicle processing. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, that's much more specific than auto remarketing. Oh, but there's Sync or Sync. Auto remarketing. Boy, I could go either one. I could buy either one of these sandwiches. Somebody sounds hungry. Here we go. Question 4. What is the most appropriate carrier pay amount to ship a 2017 Hyundai Elantra from North South Carolina to Southwest PA? Look at that. Look at that wordplay. Well done. I don't know the answers. South Carolina to PA. I want $790, but it could be $515. It is, and by the way, where are all those skyrocketing rates? Right? And we had a pandemic. Everybody's going out of business. You can't get anyone to work anymore. It's all robots and shipping containers. And yet, no change in the rates. What is up with that? Oh, Austin's got $12.10. Is that on the previous one? Let's go look. Nope. It's just... Well done, Austin. There's always one just, phoning it in. But you know what? That's what negotiation's all about. It's just that it's not on the multiple choice. Well, I'm going to go with $790 on this one. And I said auto remarketing on the other one. Here we go. One more question. B Logistics was guessing, yeah. I think Sync. I'm going to Sync or Sync. Vehicle processing can also be done on the front end. So it's a trick question. Just like all of these Larry questions. I have never gotten 5 out of 5 on this game. Not once. Gotten close. Maybe. Here we go. Question 5. What year was IARA created? 71, 81, 91, 2001. Well, I may actually, yeah. I'm just going to go, I'm going to go all in 2001. 20th anniversary. It has to be. Give me one, Larry, please. Thank you, Silver Mint. I knew you were there. You and Austin. You're already calling the broker. Like, hey man, I got bills, fuel's gone up, it's holidays, it's weather, it's risk on the road. Have you seen the traffic lately? Thank you so much, Larry. Those are great questions. Thank you all so much for playing along. Do me a favor, go to autotransportintel.com, click on sign up, become an ATI insider. Oh, Austin's prices are going up. But you know what? I do agree with that. I do abide. So do me a favor. Next time you're setting that ELD and he's flipping through all the logs and going on and on, just get yourself a nice cold glass of ELD punch, and I'm right there with you, partner. We'll be right back after this.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verification of loads when nobody answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years of experience in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-8255 0021. Or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
Auto IMS and ConditionReports.com are pleased to introduce the TransportCR mobile app. Auctions, consignors, and dealers who engage independent transporters now have an affordable tool to hold all parties accountable when unexpected damages arise. Inspection photos, geotagging, date and timestamps, and user-specific authentication all ensure transparency and accountability. Install the TransportCR app or contact info@conditionreports.com. Inspection, condition reports, authentication, holding all parties accountable. Install the TransportCR app or email info@conditionreports.com. Thank you so much, Joe Miller and Brian Shear and Auto IMS and ConditionReports.com. Really do appreciate the contribution and support of the channel. Here we go. What are we doing next? Oh, it's part 2. Yeah, it's part 2 of industry news. Ready? Here we go. Sue gets the highest rates. Well, that's what she does. It's funny. It's funny because dispatching, man, there's still this really unappreciative side. And then there's this other side. I get emails. It's every week. I need a dispatcher. Can you help me stay loaded? So there is a reliance on dispatchers too. We'll keep an eye on that. Join us on Thursdays. Elon Musk wants Tesla to reduce delivery costs in Q4. Have you seen this? This change in strategy. I'm not sure. Why this picture? Really? This change in strategy is reflective that Tesla's traditional end-of-quarter push for increased deliveries hasn't worked to enhance the numbers. Musk has revealed, I think this is previously, that his Tesla team is working overtime to ship as many vehicles as they can in this quarter. The focus is now on reducing the cost of delivering cars, the effect of increased costs with the company spending heavily on things like employee overtime and temporary contractors, you don't say. Spot market, anybody? Musk has now emailed his team that Q4 will be different than before, as he's asked the team to work on reducing costs rather than focus on delivering more cars. Elon says, per my email several weeks ago, our focus this quarter should be on I'm just doing that Elon's hands, whatever that was. Should be on minimizing cost of deliveries rather than spending heavily on expedite fees, overtime, temporary contractors, just so that cars arrive in Q4. Whatever has happened historically is that we sprint like crazy at the end of the quarter to maximize deliveries, but then deliveries drop massively in the first few weeks of the quarter. In effect, looked at over a 6-month period, we won't have delivered any extra cars, but we would have spent a lot of extra money and burned ourselves out to accelerate deliveries in the last 2 weeks of each quarter. And by the way, I think maybe some of this, did you see, despite all that effort and extra expense, they didn't reach that wonderful next zero. They were just shy. So, I'm sure there are many email writers at OEMs that can relate. Here's another one. Tesla shipping cars out with missing USB ports. There's your... I guess I'm not going to be plugging into my Tesla Model 3 or Model Y. But it's not just Tesla. GM is removing popular heated seats option from much of its lineup due to chip shortage. Still feeling it. Sorry about that chip shortage thing there. Here's one. Commercial trucks equipment prices climb. This is out of order. But, yeah, I did want to share this. Oh, no, maybe it's not. Sandhills EVI. Sandhills Equipment Value Index. That's how they measure commercial trucks, construction machinery, agricultural equipment. Interesting. And it's gone up, of course, year over year. Dang. The Sandhills EVI for used sleeper trucks indicated a 74% year-over-year auction value increase. Wow, dude. That's pretty intense. Some Carvana buyers have waited months for license plates. Consumer complaints against online auto dealer Carvana have escalated during the pandemic to the point where some states have slapped the startup with fines and stopped sale orders, citing buyers who have waited months for registration paperwork to be processed and license plates to be delivered. Buyers in multiple states have reported delays ranging from weeks to months, and instances of multiple temporary tags being issued. Multiple temporary tags being issued, yeah. I did. This is not a. This is, well, it's, I guess it's continuing because it's not brand new. With no sign of any permanent registration. Here's a story. Let's go to the next slide. A recent report quoted a woman whose 22-year-old daughter has been waiting 455 days for tags on her 2018 Hyundai Elantra she bought in August 2020. Car dealers in Texas are required to submit registration paperwork within 30 to 45 days. She's already been told once by a police officer not to be driving the car. It needed to be tagged. She had it for over a year. They can't issue any more temporary tags. They can't. They can't tag it. What are we doing? Why aren't you fixing this? Carvana did not respond to the station's request. UECC takes delivery of the first hybrid finished vehicle vessel. This will excite some, but not all, which is powered by both liquefied natural gas, LNG, and battery technology. And there's more of these ships due for delivery next year with a capacity of 3,600 vehicles on 10 cargo decks. I saw some ships are going to be twice that size, 7,000 vehicles. And here's one for you. Hearing now underway to decide on the future class action against vehicle shipping cartel. A 3-day hearing. Over 17 million vehicles are said to have been affected by a price-fixing scheme. Interesting stuff. But we are here to celebrate the IARA 20th anniversary issue. What's going to happen is, in a few minutes, we're going to have Martin Romjue, content editor, up in here. And he put this all together. Excuse me. Mission generates momentum. There's Jeff Bescher. And there's Dave Langley and Scott Kolb. They're on the show tonight. This is that historical timeline starting in 2001. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, I see that comment. Did Tesla? So I didn't bring up. I had so much other stuff. I didn't bring up the Tesla Motors Club. Where's that ship? Webpage, blogging, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, people really love Tesla. No USB ports. I love it. And then there's the milestones page. And, car program with Michelle Pirog. And here I think, here it is. Here's an overview of the car course units. Look at this. Okay, 1 through 20. So you got remarketing, pre-sale, sale, post-sale, and then legal ethics and terminology. Lots to know. You know, we go live 4 times a week. Auto Transport Intel starts the week with Tuesday Nights Live. That's the big show. It's all downhill from there. DOT compliance every Wednesday at noon with your DOT guy, Brian Riker. Critical information. Find out, did you load it correctly? How we doing? Dispatching live on Thursdays. Load board search advice with Sue. Are you going to book it? Are you sure? Might want to make a phone call. And Cars on the Move on Fridays at noon with Ty, live from the Transport parking lot. We love to bring in Tim, dealership slang. We did that recently. That was a good one. And if you missed it, last week was Used Car Week Dealers. That was last Tuesday night. If you missed it, go ahead and check it out. Yeah, no USB. No. I mean, you know, you might get one with USB. You might not. You might not get it with USB or not for another 6 months. Who knows? You can blog about it, though. Blog about it with your friends at TeslaMotorsClub.com. And Ty's like, he's not kidding. That's actually true. New car hauler hurdles. See, where'd all the money go? Well, we're going to talk about that next Tuesday night. That is next Tuesday night. Cyclone O Money. And because, I just saw another video. I swear, this video said, like, I don't know, something, 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 start car hauling, make $250,000 a year. I started watching it. That's 20 minutes I'll never get back. Automotive trade shows. That's coming up in 2 weeks from tonight. That's going to be a good one, too. Good stuff. It's the Car Shipping Business Channel. You are watching Auto Transport Intel. So here's what's going to happen. Okay, Martin, get ready because you're next. You're the next contestant on Tuesday Nights Live. Stick around. We'll be right back after this. First we're going to start with Ty. Talk to Ty quickly. Bring in Martin. Bada bing, bada boom. We're talking about the IARA 20th Anniversary Special Edition. We'll be right back. Is your current vehicle imaging process producing inconsistent images? Frustrating? Time-consuming? At the mercy of another vendor's schedule? Well, it doesn't have to be. Black Widow Imaging provides a simple system to capture high-quality images of your vehicles in seconds. Simply align the driver's side tire with the floor stripe. Stop on the floor plate to scan your vehicle code and capture the exterior images. It's that easy. It's also equipped with an interactive 360-degree interior camera option so your customers don't miss any details. The results are fast, consistent 4K images that are delivered to your website in minutes. Let us show you how easy your imaging process can be anywhere in the global supply chain. Visit blackwidowimaging.com to schedule a live demo. Black Widow Imaging provides high-resolution 4K images for OEMs, auctions, dealers, rail, port, fleet, insurance, transportation, and more. So schedule your live demo at blackwidowimaging.com. Here's what we're going to do. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So I am... okay, Martin, hang on 1 second, Martin. Ty and I want to introduce you properly. We'll be right back with Martin. And we've got... Okay, Ty is getting everything set. She's checking his microphone. We're checking the live chat. We've got the links right here. Hopefully Austin's back and ready to go. Carlos, he's microwaving a burrito. Candy is checking the weather. Silver Mint is almost done putting up the Christmas tree. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Without any further ado, how long has it been? It hasn't been. It hasn't been very long. Yet it feels like forever. Ty Thompson. Ty,
hey Jay,
what's going on, man?
Man, it's been an amazing day, and I'm really happy to be here tonight because, like you said, I watched the video, the pictures, right, of all the things that we got to go do. And you opened up, you said we're blessed, and we are blessed. I'm really blessed that we got to go to so many of these and meet so many of these really amazing people. So Martin was definitely one of my favorite guys. This guy is like, he goes to the front of the conference, sits at the front row, and he's got his laptop out, and that dude is taking notes. I mean, he is studious. Is that the right word?
He is very studious, and we are blessed with all the things that have been happening, and it's neat that in one show, we're gonna have Martin. He put it all together. Let's bring him in here.
Bring him in.
Instead of just talking about it, here we go. Martin.
Let's bring Martin.
Let's pop over to the live chat. Okay, here comes Martin. Okay, Austin's back. Okay, good. Excuse me. Okay. We need some of that ELD punch. Okay, here we go. Another drum roll. Here we go. Oh, that's good punch. Martin Romjue, content editor, Bobit Business Media. Martin, how are you doing, man?
Doing great. Thanks for having me, and good to be here. Can you hear me all right?
Hear you, see you,
Okay.
and
Perfect.
yes, thank you so much. So let's do this. I've been talking nonstop. Um, Ty, although Ty, I bet you don't have this, do you, Ty?
No.
Yeah.
But next time I see you, I'll have one.
I can get you a copy. Just send me your
please
address.
do. In fact, hey,
Yeah.
anybody that wants a copy should put, maybe in the live chat. Maybe Kimberly can help keep trackers, because we should get copies. There's so much in here. Martin, please tell us more about this edition, your role, etc. Take it away.
Well, this is an anniversary commemorative edition that Bobit does every 5 years for the IARA. I haven't found a 5th anniversary issue yet. It might exist, but we definitely have a 10th and a 15th. And this one is the 20th, and we do it as a way to update the IARA because it's doing so much and they make so much progress. It kind of makes sense to kind of do a 5-year review. And because of the timing this year, the approach we took was it was kind of a 20th anniversary and a summer roundtable issue, which is why a lot of the photos relate to the event this summer. And we talked to 2 of the founders that you're featuring tonight, did the timeline and went through the committees. And even though the issue is 40 pages, it's still, in my view, it still can't cover everything that's going on. We'd probably have to get into volumes as opposed to issues if we did that. So I wrote some of the articles. I did the editing and the planning. I had a good helper with a guy named Jim Luff, who has worked many years as a freelancer and contractor at Bobit, and who also ran a fleet for many years and understands the basic concepts. And that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Ty, okay, so Ty and I sometimes powwow about how much time it takes to put together a show. But that's nothing compared to this. I mean, really, right?
Oh, man.
Because I'm like, I hadn't heard from Martin in quite a while. And then he pops up, he's like, yeah, I finished it. I'm like, real? I mean, that's crazy. That's insane work. And it's not just I mean, this is it's a time capsule, right?
Yeah, it's meant to be a keepsake. Keep it on your coffee table for 5 years until the next one comes out. And it's just something you don't have to read all at once either, because you're not under the pressure of having next month's issue come out. So you can kind of take your time with it.
And also, when I noticed when I was flipping through, so it covers different things, because you have ceremonies of handing off of the president, right? That's an important moment in the IARA, in any committee. And then you've got historical timeline. Then you've got, let's see here. Oh, there's pictures and times of each of the presidents. Then you've got, I guess this is an interview. What's so Jeff and Paul, what is this, an interview between these two guys?
Yeah, this is a Q&A with the current chairman and president. And at the time, Paul Seeger was the outgoing president, and Jeff Bescher was about to, or had just taken the gavel as president. And I thought it would be interesting to just have them look at the IARA's legacy as well as the future. And they also have the distinction of being the 2 presidents who have headed the organization during challenging time for the industry and for all of us. They're kind of the 2 pandemic presidents. And it was interesting to get the 2 of them together and have them talk about industry challenges and issues, and also look back on their roles with the organization.
Very cool. And as we keep going, let's see. Oh, and then we've got Charlie. He's hosting a panel I think that's at Car Conference, Is that
Right,
right?
and it was good to have Charlie because even though he's not a founder and he's sort of been involved with remarketing, he's been there at critical points throughout the 20 years, as well as with other organizations, and he's circulated throughout the industry. And it was good to get his perspective. And I'm really glad we could include the photo of the panel that he hosted at the Summer Roundtable, because that will be reviewed in the 25th anniversary issue, because that was a history-making event to have those executives all up there talking for an hour. And Charlie was the perfect guy to host that.
And moving along, another article by Martin Romjue. I mean, how much you wrote is significant. Did you write all of it? Most of it?
No, I maybe half to a third, and then Jim Luff.
Only a half.
Jim Luff did the rest of it.
So this is about featuring technology, which obviously has played a huge role in the past decade. And then there's technology milestones on this page.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then, gee, Jay, I didn't know we were gonna go through the whole thing, but there's really, and then the car program with Michelle. Let's see, there it is. Yeah.
There's an article about the car program, and Mike Antich, kind of my predecessor at CAR, wrote a retrospective column at the very end, and I'm very glad he was able to do that. And he talked about the CAR program because he was instrumental in bringing that about and has a very close relationship with it. So there's two articles that relate to the CAR program in the issue.
And in fact, Mike then went on to win, is it right, the Ed Bobit Industry Icon Award?
That's right. What we did with the awards section is we featured this year's winners. And then for the first time, we actually mentioned everyone who ever won an award from the IARA. In past issues, it was just it was their leading award, the Circle of Excellence. And this time we expanded it to Remarketing Industry Recognition and the Ed Bobit Icon Award.
Incredible. That's so cool. And that makes for a comprehensive, it's not full of ads and whatnot. I mean, there is a lot in this issue.
Right.
And kind of like you said, you've got 5 years in the making. No wonder you were busy.
Yeah.
So well done. Hats off to you. I'm sure
Thank you.
Association certainly appreciates it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, thanks. It was
You're
also
the guy to do that. Yeah.
Well, it was a benefit to me because the timing couldn't have been better. This is my first year with CAR and IARA and the remarketing industry, and this was just an excellent crash course, which is why I bit off more than I could chew, and it ended up being a good learning experience. So now I'm much better off than I was just 3-4 months ago.
I think, sorry to jump in here, but
Yeah,
I think
please.
there's something really cool about Martin, because Martin, what kind of background do you have in the automotive industry?
Well, with the fleet side, I was in luxury ground transportation for 12 years. So I edited a magazine that basically served the black car, limo, luxury transportation industry. I call it the industry that drives around the top 1% because it's mostly VIPs and CEOs and celebrities. But they also do a lot of business travel. So I'm mostly rooted in that side of fleet as well as motor coaches and buses.
Right. So from a remarketing perspective, you may not have had a ton of experience, right?
Right. I talked maybe to a few fleet owners who mentioned, well, I have to cycle out my vehicles and I do it at this many miles and this is how I go about it. But it was just very surface exposure to remarketing.
So the reason I'm kind of making a point of this is because this is one of the things that really attracted me to you, and I really have a great appreciation for your ability to go into a conference session, to take notes, to come out, and what you regurgitate is pure because it's undiluted. It's not tainted. This is all fresh for you. So I remember, I'll never forget standing in the hall in San Antonio. I was like, hey, Mark, how'd that go? And you start talking and telling these details that I'm like, wow. Now that is a really fresh perspective. So I know one of the things I appreciate is having a guy like you come in and tell us what you heard. It's really cool.
Thanks. Well, that's kind of my only option now, is just to play it straight and make sure I pay attention.
Well, you do a great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
So here's what we're going to do now is we are going to, Scott Kolb is in the wings. He's up next, but we got Dave Langley is, I think, Martin, you know better than I do. Who's Dave Langley?
He's the guy who got it all started. It was in his head before it ever got onto anyone's tongue, the whole concept of getting the consignors together. And he was working in Southern California at one of the major Asian automakers, and he kind of took on remarketing. I believe it was American Honda. And then he kind of brought in his colleagues and peers, and the idea kind of formed for a few years, and then they launched it.
Well, all right. Well, here comes Dave. Let's do this now. Dave, if you're, I believe Dave is he's in the waiting room and possibly watching as well. So let's bring in Dave. And Austin's in the live chat. Dave is the man. So we hear the doorbell, and Dave's going to be stepping in shortly. And if you're just joining us, so all right, so we're halfway through the show, maybe over halfway, depending on how this party goes. But we are celebrating the IARA 20th anniversary special edition, edited by content editor Martin Romjue. Now, do me a favor, Dave. I think I heard you, but I'm going to ask to start video. And I think Scott should be in here shortly as well. And wonderful. And I see Dave. We're going to go to Dave here in a second. So if you're just joining the live chat and if you are talking about Autobots, great. If you're not talking about Autobots, great. But either way, please help me welcome Dave Langley of the IARA. Dave is here with us. First time on Auto Transport Intel. Dave, thank you so much for taking the time. Will you please say hello to the
hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great evening.
Well,
can you hear me?
We can hear
Yes.
you. We can see you, Dave. Yes. Martin, please pick up.
Dave, it was great to be able to interview you for this. I know you've got lots of stories to tell about how this came about, and it's always interesting to talk to someone who gets an original idea and then 20 years later can look back and say all the benchmarks and successes were hit.
So what can I tell you? When I went to work for American Honda as a national remarketing manager, and I had the opportunity to interact with a lot of my peers, and I attended some of the auction-sponsored advisory board meetings. It occurred to me that there really wasn't a voice for the customer, for the auction remarketers. And there were so many things going on at the time. Primarily, there was a merger between the Mannheim Group and the ATI Group, which caused some uncertainty in the marketplace. So at any rate, I really thought that it was time for our group of remarketers to somehow organize. And I was in Southern California, and I just started picking up the phone and calling people that I knew to see if there was some interest, and found that there was, and that's what kind of kicked it all off.
Now, did you get together in a particular place, or did you meet in your offices? Where did you all get together to?
Well, after a lot of phone conversations, we finally did have one formal meeting at Hyundai headquarters in Southern California. It was sponsored by Steve Pinchinati. And we in the Southern California area who were interested, and some others from other parts of the country, came to that meeting. And we began to kind of outline what we thought an association should do. And from that initial meeting, we decided we needed some expertise in the formation of groups. So we went to the Bobit group, the Bobit Publishing, who at the time ran a couple of associations for groups other than the automotive business. But they had the expertise, and we called upon them to kind of help us out to set up our structure and to begin the process of forming the group. They were huge. I mean, they were an incredibly important part of our ability to get organized. And we depended upon them to kind of give us an idea of how we needed to set the group up and start our articles of incorporation and all the formality of establishing ourselves as a nonprofit.
Now, who actually, I always like to ask this of business owners, but who actually filed the paperwork to incorporate the group? And do you happen to remember the date or at least the month when that was done?
Well, the director that we selected, Matt Marks, was able to file those articles of incorporation and get us formally formed with the IRS.
And that was in 2001, obviously.
Correct.
Okay, good. So at least we celebrate the 20th anniversary in the correct year. We might not have the exact.
Well, it's interesting that the formation process actually started a couple of years before that, and we still had several meetings and formed groups and committees and that sort of thing. But it wasn't until 2001 that we actually formalized the process with the IRS and got our articles of incorporation composed and filed and all that sort of thing. And Matt handled all of that for us. He was our first full-time executive director.
Mm-hmm.
We had a couple before that, a couple of people with the Bobit organization, David Gesualdo and Chuck Parker, but they were both kind of part-timers. Matt was the first one that we had that was full-time.
And then would you hold monthly meetings? Would you, for example, rent a meeting venue somewhere in Southern California to get people together in person?
Well, the original group of people, we kind of rotated office to office, and probably had at the very start meetings every couple of weeks, and then we went to monthly. And then when we had Matt Marks as our full-time executive director, well, then we could kind of rely on him to set up meetings. Usually, we did it over the phone for the most part. We didn't have Zoom at the time. So we would informally meet that way. Matt will kind of organize us, and then the thing that really kind of kicked us off was sort of to set up subcommittees for different functions that we wanted to address. And then we solicited members, and we started building a following for the group, and then began the subcommittee process. Actually started getting some things done, started working with the auction group. Scott Cole was immensely important in setting up the educational subcommittee, which spent a lot of time in getting it organized, but finally put together just a great set of formal classes for people who were moving into the remarketing industry and needed some help to understand how the process worked.
Aside from the membership fees, who were some of the original sponsors that can be credited for helping the organization get off the ground financially?
Bobit was huge. For the first few years, they were really the only organization that provided us any real support. And I'm trying to think later on. I apologize because I'm having a little brain fade right now, but we had some other organizations that kind of co-sponsor things with us. The car group came on board. NAAA got involved. I think that was about it at the very beginning. Then as I moved away from the organization, more auctions started to get more involved and also became members and sponsored a lot of our events. Yeah, I think that was about it.
Yeah, and you were talking about it for the article. There were two things that you consider to be the biggest accomplishments, or the ones that you had hoped would happen even after you had stepped down as president. Why don't you just quickly summarize those two?
Well, like any organization, one of the things I was most concerned about was finances, making sure that we had the legs to do the things that we wanted to do. And over time, membership fees have actually gone down. At the beginning, they were kind of high only because we needed the cash to kind of get the organization off and running. So that was my primary concern, because if we're going to be around for any amount of time, we had to have the finances to be able to do that. The next thing I was concerned about was full-time management. We needed somebody who had their eye on the ball all of the time, as opposed to the part-time effort that we were putting into it. And Matt Marks provided that. And then the next issue in my mind was scale. We needed to be an equal member to organizations like the NAAA, as opposed to being kind of a junior member and not having the kind of influence that we really needed to have. And I wanted to make sure that we had the power in the organization that we could stand toe-to-toe with any other organization that was related to the remarketing industry, and primarily that was the NAAA. And those things got accomplished, not necessarily on my watch, but over time, the organization has grown tremendously. It's very financially stable now. It has a tremendous amount of influence, a large membership, all things that I envisioned and hoped for, but all pretty much happened after I left office and moved on.
Well, I certainly don't want to monopolize you, Ty.
Yeah,
Jay,
but you're doing
have,
such a good job, right?
Yeah.
I can't think of all the questions here.
Well, I'll tell you, and frankly, and thank you, Martin, because I handed you a hot potato, but I knew that you could do it, because like Ty said, you're the one that sits in the front row taking the notes. But I figured, if you can put together this, you could probably come up with a few good questions which you've done. Dave, I appreciate you sharing that stuff, because ironically, I'm listening, thinking, okay, so it's possible, it's just possible that in 20 years, and so in 2041, somebody will bring me into their TikTok arena and ask me, so, when you started ATI, what were you thinking, and what does it look like now to you? It's possible, right? Because, Dave, 20 years ago, you couldn't have known exactly what would happen.
Correct. There was no way for me to do that. And what was of particular interest to the entire group was that we actually become international. And our first thought was to get Canada involved, and then perhaps Mexico and some of the South American countries. And I think the Canadian portion of it has taken some form. But I thought, because there are so many people that do what we do in the industry that we could go beyond the borders of the United States and include other folks in the remarketing business in other parts of the world.
And I wrote down, so you had said auction remarketers. Why auction remarketers? What made you choose?
Well, almost everything that we do in remarketing, from a manufacturer standpoint, from a fleet standpoint, all goes through auctions for the most part. I mean, we have other responsibilities, other avenues, but the primary avenue is through auto auctions. And having those people perform the tasks that we needed to have done and performed in the method that we needed to have them done was very important. And we really didn't have the legs to, I don't want to say insist that these things be done, but at least provide some guidance from a commonality standpoint that these are all things that we need and we need for you to address. And what we found through the advisory board process with the auctions was that they were really kind of introducing things to us that they wanted us to buy. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, they're there to make money. But there are lots of things that we needed that weren't necessarily revenue drivers for the auctions.
When you look at the 20 modules of the car certification program, what runs through your mind?
The certification process?
Yeah, so I mean, meaning that you've really got this broad scope now of curriculum, whereas obviously 20 years ago you didn't have it so developed.
Correct.
How do you feel about how that's developed, and what's your opinion of the car certification program? I'm curious.
It is. I think it's a fantastic program. Scott Kolb and his subcommittee put that thing together, and so many people have gone through it now. When one of the observations I made when we started the group was that everything was on the job training, and oftentimes the people who got put in the remarketing responsibility at a bank or other financial institution, well, it was kind of like 5 guys sitting around the table saying, well, who wants to do this? And Joe raised his hand and said, I'll give it a try. And he really didn't know what he was doing. And he gets thrown into the lion's den and tries to do the best he can, learns as he kind of goes along. But that's not the way that we should be doing it. You know, we're a profession. We need to have proper representation, and we need to provide education. And that was a big part of what the IARA provided, was that basic education for people coming into the industry, and then they further expanded that to get into the management realm, and have provided people, I think, with a very strong background who entered the business and didn't have 20 years of experience in the business.
Fantastic. That's pretty much where I was headed, so I appreciate that. You know what we're going to do now is, if you're just joining, we are talking with Dave Langley, who is regarded as the founder of IARA. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add Matt Arias to the conversation. Matt is he's joining now. Who wants to introduce Matt and what all the things that Matt does? Who wants to take a stab at that? Martin?
Well, I know Matt has, he's got a foot in auctions and a foot in consignments, and he's the master of standards for the MAAA and the IARA. And that's not just a full plate, that's a whole smorgasbord. So I think that can pretty much sum up Matt.
I want to add something to Matt. So I met Matt in San Antonio. Actually, wasn't he just on the show, Jay, before we went to San Antonio?
So it's as I was doing tonight's show, we've had him on several times, and yet there's still so much to come back and talk about. So, because if you talk to Matt, you're in for a lot of information.
Exactly. So I got to kind of meet him on the show, but then I met him in San Antonio, which was really cool because that's where he had the I don't know if it was closed door, but it was basically standing room only meeting for the standards that he's going to talk about in a minute. And that was a really big meeting that I thought, wow, this is cool. They had attorneys in there, I think. But anyway, the part
Several
where
attorneys.
I ran into Matt again in Vegas at Red Rock. And it was really, really, I mean, Matt, I don't know if I told you this, but it was really cool to not just run into you, shake your hand, but be able to have a conversation. Hey, how's it going with your thing that you're working on? The last time I saw you, remember?
Yeah. No, hey, thanks for having me on again. Hey, Dave.
Yeah. Anyway, there's Matt. I like Matt.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah.
All right, Matt.
And you've got, hey,
What are you working on?
You got some fans in the live chat too. So Matt, take it away. Please say hello. What's going on with you?
Oh, the dust is starting to settle a little bit from the used car week. A lot of good meetings, a lot of good chat. There was a particular session about scanning vehicles that I really, really liked. A lot of folks are starting to really look at the powertrain a little bit differently. The condition report, of course, is always going to be a subject for conversation. We are having a meeting this week in Virginia, the NAAA Standards Committee. We're going to go over, we really haven't had a chance to meet formally since COVID. So we're going to clean up a lot of things that are out there. Some of the new legislation has, resulted from COVID, title issues, things like that. And then whatever new business that the team's bringing. So I'm looking forward to that.
So how about this, Matt? How long have you been with the organization, and how did that start?
Oh, IARA. I was the director of arbitration for Mannheim and working with the NAAA Standards Committee as the co-chair for that. And then I helped Matt Marks with some of the training, the car certification. And that's how I got kind of into it is when that was starting to come about and we were building the training for it. The recon is what I worked in, and I sent him a whole bunch of stuff. And ever since then, I've been helping. And then I became co-chair, I want to say 5 years ago, something around there. But I co-chair with Doug Turner from Byrider, and it's great. Yeah, what we can do to help.
Do you or do you not speak at length about arbitration?
I do. I sure do. ARB's kind of my wheelhouse. I mean, I'm an inspection guy by heart, and recon, and I kind of grew up in that. My first job was holding a flashlight for my dad in the motor pool, so kind of parlayed into whatever I'm doing now. But yeah, arbitration is it's a weird one because customers don't really care what you call it. They have an issue, you want to solve it. So whether it's on the sell side or on the buy side or some sort of inspection issue that we may have done wrong, from an auction point of view, we want to make sure that experience is on point.
I want to say this is that one of the things we're doing right now is, there we go. It's like an office party. I want you to pretend it's mid to late December. It's a Friday, and there's no work to be done. The work is all done. All the customers are thrilled, and we're just hanging out, having an anniversary party, okay? That's what we're doing.
Okay.
That's the setting. So I'll tell you what, there is no better way to kick a party off than to bring in Charlie Vogelheim. So we're going to do that. Here comes Charlie. And yeah. So and really in the live chat, thanks everybody for jumping in the live chat. Christian Thompson is here. Austin Ledgerwood is here. Kevin Pomeroy is here. And they're psyched to have you all taking center stage and saying hello. So while Charlie he's getting the microphones ready, and one more run by Craft Service. And if you're just joining, we are having the IARA 20th anniversary special edition party. and we're hanging out, and we're taking a trip down memory lane. Since I said that, Dave, yeah, time.
Oh, while we were waiting, I was wondering, what if we want to become a member, Martin? How do we become a member of the IARA?
Show up, sign up, participate. They have a full website with just about, every page and portal you can imagine, and they
just go to the website and check it out, get signed up.
And I would, if I were in the industry and working in the industry and wanted to join the IARA, I would certainly want to talk to one of their members or their committee chairs, and definitely get the full rundown of all the benefits and how the organization can really help you and your business. So it's a lot of the growth has happened because of word of mouth. It's happened because of networking and relationships. And I know just from having attended the Auction Academy graduation last week, which was just a wonderful event, that mentorship plays a huge role in developing professionals in this industry. And the sense that I have gotten in the brief time that I've been with the IARA is that that is the perfect place to find people who can take the time and have the knowledge to really develop you as a participant in the industry.
So here's a good question, for you or Dave or anybody really. Who would want to sign up for IARA? Who would benefit the most? Does that make sense?
Well, the people that benefit the most are the people that actually remarket vehicles through the auction network, and that would be your banks and credit unions and fleet folks, your captive finance companies, your individual finance companies, commercial lessors. There are any number of people who end up with a portfolio of vehicles that they have to dispose of at some point in time. And then you have a vendor network that kind of surrounds that core group of folks. And they could be the auctions, they could be people that cut keys, that provide any of the services, dent work, those folks that basically work on the cars the remarketers have to sell. So it's a fairly large venue of people who would benefit from being able to interact with the actual remarketers, who are the folks that are signing the checks to have these cars sold.
All right. So if I would say might want to be a transport company, or I am a transport company, it might be a good place for me to go hang out to meet auction people, vendor people, and fleet and remarketing people. Is that what okay.
Since the auctions have kind of put an umbrella over the whole transportation process, in that the Mannheims and the Odessas now kind of interact with transport companies to get cars picked up and moved around the country and that sort of thing. I think it's important for transporters to become directly involved in the process with remarketers rather than be, indirectly involved through other parts of the operating chain.
Well, that's really cool, because you're the guy with the vision. And, I was listening to your story, and I don't think I'd heard it all quite like the way it came out tonight. So I really appreciate that. But I was thinking, okay, you're the guy that has this vision. You left before it all came together, and then I can imagine how you felt seeing it come together after you've left, right? It's
very, very rewarding. It's really not a nice thing to say, but I kind of got burned out, because in the early stages there were so many doubters. I mean, it kind of felt like you were in the boxing ring.
Oh man!
Just about every week, fighting with auction groups, fighting with vendors, and I shouldn't say fight, but there was, a feeling of doubt, of concern that somehow remarketers were ganging up on, the vendor chain, on the auctions and that sort of thing. And so we had to dispel that. So there was a lot of energy just getting acceptance. And we reached that plateau finally, but it was a long road to get people to buy in and be comfortable with the idea of remarketers coming together. So anyway, after I backed away, then the people that have followed me have, written their name on the organization and made it even bigger and better than what I envisioned.
You bring up an interesting point, David, and I think Charlie and Dave, you can maybe speak to this, but wasn't there a perception at the beginning that it was mostly an organization that was West Coast oriented and was oriented towards Asian car makers? And I'm curious how you got the big three involved and how you gained the involvement of the Detroit side of the industry.
Well, I'll be honest, they never joined until after I left. So I don't know if that had something to do with me or what, but the first one that kind of stepped forward was Ford. And then they kind of pulled their horns back, and the GM folks weren't really interested because they kind of felt like they were so big they could get anything that they wanted. They didn't need an organization to represent them. Chrysler kind of felt the same way. So I can't speak directly to what prompted them to finally join the organization, but they did. And that was a great accomplishment.
So here's what we're going to do. Charlie, will you take the microphone, please? We are, speaking of blessed, we're blessed to have Charlie Vogelheim with us tonight. Charlie, please say hello.
Well, hello, everyone. It's great to be on with you guys. And particularly, it's fun to reminisce over all this. Martin, again, congratulations. That tribute magazine you put together was amazing. I enjoyed going through it and reminiscing. And of course, to see David virtually, it's always a pleasure. It was nice to reconnect recently. So are you getting me okay over the line?
We thank you, Charlie. Yes, we see you, we hear you, and we appreciate it.
But I'll add to that question a little bit that Martin asked, and David, because I would talk to them. You make mention. I was involved at the very beginning. I was around when it was happening. I was somewhat independent as the editor of the Kelley Blue Book at the time. The internet had really gone mainstream, well, at least from a commercial standpoint, about 5 years previously. And we had our hands full in terms of that development, and then trying to understand how that might roll over into the remarketing side of things. But in talking to some of the domestic, or the Detroit three, as we would refer to them now, it really was, because of the word international being on there, I think they misinterpreted sometimes as the import remarketing association. And because of the origins on the West Coast, again, you had Honda, you had Toyota, as you mentioned, you had the Koreans, both with Hyundai and Kia, and Nissan before they were they even Datsun back then. But anyway, again, it was where a lot of the growth was happening. And if you think about other smaller companies that were out there, whether it was Suzuki and Isuzu, where Scott Kolb was, and Mazda, everybody was scrambling to try and do the right thing and be efficient in what they did. And this group was very important for that to occur.
I certainly appreciate, over the course of time, isn't this interesting? Right?
You have no idea.
And
how interesting this is.
It is, and everybody has their own story and journey, and
wow.
it's really fascinating. I'm gonna.
Well, it's like I always say, though. Yeah. I mean, when I'm out 20 years ago. So I started my car hauling company 20 years ago, and got drivers, trucks, and I got to move a lot of cars. I always talk about I steal the magazine either from the auction or the dealer's office, the automotive news, and read through the magazine. Well, I didn't know there was an IARA magazine, but anyway, point being, pretty much everybody on this screen right now, I've like idolized for 20 years. Never had the time to get to hang out and go to the conferences, but look where I'm at today. I'm hanging out with the guys that I've read about so when you say this is pretty amazing, this is pretty amazing on my side too. So thanks, everybody.
Well, if you got it straightened out, Ty, that you could attend car and then earn your car and then go sell some cars, did you get that figured out?
Not quite, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
That calls for a bell ringer.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
and who's joining us next. And we're in our final quarter of the show or less. But we are bringing in now Tony Long is walking through the front door. We're having the IARA 20th anniversary special edition celebration. And this is experimental, but part of it is this is important stuff to get perspective of an organization that is a pillar of the community. Tony, can you see us and hear us okay?
I can. Can you hear me?
Thanks for joining us. We can hear you, we can see you, and I know membership is your thing. Tony, please say hello to the Tuesday night audience.
Hi, guys. I feel like I'm at the Smithsonian for IARA with all this history, and this is really, really something. You know, it was good to see Ty, you and Jay at the round table, and and getting all these people that really started it. Dave, it's funny that I was reminiscing as Dave was speaking. Steve Houston contacted me yesterday, and he sent me a bunch of stuff. He said, "Hey, I was going through my desk files and I found a bunch of Matt's stuff, and that he and I both thought that we had already." And it was some really good documents and these articles of incorporation and first minutes and just a lot of things that I had some rough copies of, but these are just really good things, and they're in order, and they kind of lay out the steps that you guys took back in the day. And so anyways, well, Dave, you and I'll get together. I'll share some of that stuff with you.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I heard everybody talking about membership. One of the things that I picked up out of those documents, and Dave, you'll probably remember part of the thing you had to do to get your nonprofit 501(c)(3) status was to give the purpose, a nonprofit purpose. And so there was a mission statement of sort in there. And I looked at it, and I went to the website, and I compared the two side by side. And I said, man, this is just like almost verbatim for what you guys did back then. And it talked about the mission of the association being to educate and share and assist one another and our industry partners, which I think you have to stress. But it's so that it empowers everyone to achieve the greatest efficiencies and to be the best and have the most improvement that they can through this commerce of moving vehicles through the marketplace. And, I think part of that vision that they were talking about earlier, whether you're hauling cars across the country or you're in the recon shop or whatever it is you do, internet technologies, all of this is part of that commerce of selling the vehicles, and that's what we all do for a living. The emphasis you guys have already put on the education, Charlie's tied in with Auction Academy, one of our close partners, and Penny and Pierre and those guys, have been doing a wonderful thing even before we came along. But Penny met up with me one day, just an example of some of the partnerships that we've been able to establish over the years, and it was really her idea. She said, what you guys are teaching in this car certification course, certified automotive remarketers, it's really part of what we're trying to achieve here at the academy, and translates a lot of the buzzwords and Dave, you were talking about how you would throw some guy in the office and raise their hand and say, yeah, I'll try that. So car certification from the early days, and even when I came along about a little over 8 years ago, it was still struggling to stay along. And when we went to automation, online proctoring and all the things that we've done to make this a better product, now we've got some 300 something people involved in it. Auction Academy just enrolled their largest class who will all come out car certified, doing a great job there. And we have so many companies like ARI and Element and GM Financial and all of these great companies that make their remarketing people go through the process. And for whatever we are, I think the certification and education is what gives us our credibility.
I want to jump on that, and I really
go
appreciate the shout out to Auction Academy, because a couple things, and I'm reminded with the comments you were making earlier on about Martin. Ty, you were talking about his capabilities in terms of being concise as a witness to our industry. And there are folks that David and I are in it for a while, and David has the foresight to create this group. Scott Kolb and others. I got involved a little bit in some of the Q&A to try and create this certification. What kind of questions? And in the end, it really just becomes a foundation of the knowledge that everyone should have. Yeah. So then that we can build on that, and then we can be creative and do other things. And, and it really just, we've got the terminology right. And Matt, I see you over there, and I got to do a shout out to you because, again, an important part to Auction Academy is, Matt, with what you're doing and with the arbitration and everything else. And so the people I see on the screen here are all participants in further education of the participants in this industry, which makes us all better.
Yeah, and it only makes, I think partnership is the key word too. We're all better at what we do together than we are doing it alone. And we have some other things on the drawing board. As a matter of fact, I was able to meet with Tricia and Charles Nichols and some of the folks there in AAA. IAG has approached us about some partnerships and training. We're doing a lot of things with compliance right now. That's something else that's coming down the pike. But we've got a lot of things to look forward to this year. It's amazing what we were able to accomplish. As I know, we're all here to celebrate the 20th anniversary of IARA. And when you look at the 2 tough years that we've had and what we've been able to do and actually grow and become even stronger during those 2 years while all this was going on, really gives us something to look forward to over the next 2 years. I think IARA certainly has not seen its brightest days. Those are just ahead of us.
Perfect timing then I'm going to go ahead and back at camera 1, we're going to welcome Jeff Bescher. He's our final piece here to add to our discussion panel and celebration of the IARA 20th anniversary right here on Auto Transport Intel. So let's check in with Jeff. Jeff, can you see us and hear us? We hear you. Oh, here comes the video.
Here he is.
Jeff Bescher's with us. Jeff, please say hello. And in the background, I know Jeff is fixing his audio there, and also everyone jumping in the live chat. Auction Academy's in the live chat. Arbitratable is not a word.
Yes, I can see you.
I disagree with that.
And I have turned off all the live feedback.
Matt, make it a word.
All right. Jeff,
okay.
Glad to see you.
Yes, Jeff, we can see you in here. Please say hello, Jeff. Thank you so much.
Hello to everybody. I hope you can hear me. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. It's quite the party now. And Charlie and Tony got talking, so I think we're out of time. Thank you and good night.
Tony.
I appreciate being asked to come on, and it's been a very exciting time for me as I got the gavel from Paul Seeger, and we celebrate 20 years. And it is pretty amazing where we've come in those 20 years. And I have been around during all that time. Mr. Langley started, and I was working at the auctions at the time. And he is exactly right about the beginnings of the organization and a little bit of the struggles that came in. But I think everybody is very supportive of it now. And that has been one of the huge accomplishments of the organization is how many people have joined and how much support there is from the consignors, from the vendors, from the auctions. There's just a lot of positive spin around the whole organization.
No question.
He's just going to leave the guy hanging. Come on.
I would jump in there right after that crash. talking too much. Boy, give me a microphone and run away.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing, because
Yeah.
I've been talking the whole time. I'm passing the microphone. Who wants to take it?
Yeah.
You have passed it a lot there. This is the most I've seen you pass it.
I know, right? Yeah, tell me about it.
It should be. We should mention it. I don't know. I think you did a while ago, maybe when we were talking about all the past presidents and dating from Dave on up through, and everybody needs to take a look at this piece of work that Martin's put together. I saw the digital version of it today. I haven't got my hands on a physical copy, but I will soon. But he called me over, and he's been working for weeks. There you go. Look at that cover. What about that? I came in some 8 years ago, and Levi McCoy was the president then. Passed it to Jeannie Shermani, then Tim Mita, and past 2 years, tough years, Paul Seeger. What an innovator. He was able to energize some of the people to get behind these virtual conferences. We kind of broke the ice with that. We really had hit a sweet spot and were able to time a physical meeting in San Antonio, which I think and hope encouraged some other people to get out there and do some things. And we were able to go to Las Vegas just the other week. And now Jeff has taken the gavel from Paul, still not out of the woods on this COVID thing. But I think probably may be able to build on the successes that we've had. And Jeff and I are already working. Like I say, we met within AAA and some others about some partnership opportunities that we've always been had a close relationship within IADA and other organizations that I can think of out there. So I think we that's one thing we need to do going forwards, looking at these partnership opportunities. And I think Jeff's the right guy. He's worked real close with Paul on what our vision is for the next couple of years.
We hope he's the right guy.
Yeah.
And I guess I would just add, since I have a little time to have a soliloquy here, of where we are hoping to take the IARA. We can say that COVID is a challenge. We can say a lot of things that are coming up have been challenges. We tend to try and look at them as opportunities. And there's 4 kind of big areas that we're trying to push the communication and education to all of our members so that they see the value of being part of IARA. The rise of the virtual markets and all the new players that are in the remarketing industry, as well as all of the investment that the traditional auction houses have put into the virtual marketplace. That's just huge. And there's so much going on that as a remarketer, many of us don't know what opportunities are out there. So to try and share that with the membership and say, hey, you could do this in this particular area, these companies are offering these kinds of things, that's certainly something that a lot of remarketers that have gotten very used to the way that they sell cars don't really know what's out there. So that's one opportunity to share. Privacy and data security is just exploding as far as, what are the responsibilities of the buyers and the sellers in keeping all that data secure, the vehicle information that is stored every time you put your phone connected to it, who gets rid of that information. That's Andrea has been doing a great job, Privacy for Cars, in talking about that and trying to get something going there. And then kind of associated with that is all the compliance requirements that are coming out of the government for all parts of our business. And I happen to be in the repossession side, and it's just incredible how many requirements are being put on the lenders that then are pushed down to the vendors who have to repossess those and sell those vehicles. So that's a third area I think that is really big. And then finally, the rise of the electric vehicle market. That's, it's going to change everything. All the infrastructure, all the transportation of vehicles, the storage, all the different things that have to be done with electric vehicles that are different than the regular vehicles we've been selling for the past 40 years. So a lot of information that's out there that needs to be shared. And I think IARA is well positioned to be that organization that can educate and communicate all that information and help all the companies get better at what we do.
So Jeff, how does one become a member of IARA?
IARA.biz. Go there.
There you go.
Right online. You can learn all this information.
I'm sure
We have phone
link now. Yeah.
Yeah, we have phone numbers. We have everything you need at IARA.biz, B-I-Z. And like Jeff said, you can contact us. We'll get you with the right people to get involved on all these new initiatives that are going to be facing us.
We pulled it up right here on the screen. So, yep,
There
we're
you
at
go.
IARA.biz.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, we've got training info, committees, conferences, sponsors, membership. I've been reading some of this recent news, like I clicked on the Auto IMS issue. There's really a lot here. This is a great site.
Thank you. Yeah, over to the far left, upper left-hand corner, we're going to be sending renewal notices out to our members, and this is our annual membership drive. So you can click on, you won't break our site. All you got to do is click on those buttons, and you'll get to where you need to be if you say become a member. It's real easy. Call me. I'll help you.
Speaking of, I saw this. You've got is the August roundtable your next event, or is there another one before that?
We will be going over to my home state of Tennessee and beautiful Nashville, Tennessee, at the Hilton downtown. If you went to the meeting we had a few years back, one of the top 3 attended meetings that we've had, and everybody's really excited about going back after hearing the reviews from that. So we look forward to that. Somebody mentioned the Canada people a while ago, and they're also in the middle of their membership drive. I attended their meeting yesterday, and there's a whole section and a whole webpage for anybody in Canada or that has ties or divisions in that area. They also have their own version of car certification for their members, and that's really discounted 50% for IRA members. So another benefit.
Okay, I want to answer a question that you asked about the IARA. IARA will be meeting, as they do every year, at the CAR conference, the Conference of Automotive Remarketing that the Bobit organization puts together in March. There's a number of committee meetings and events that are very specific to that event.
Yeah, we've had a membership with Bobit dating back before when I came on 8 years ago, and that's been we hold our spring business meetings. NAAA also, as a co-sponsor, that holds their spring meetings. It's a great time for all of us to get together and work on common initiatives. So be sure to make your plans to attend CAR in March. Later on in August, we'll be back for the summer roundtable again.
Yeah, it's March 22nd to the 24th at Caesars in Las Vegas. And we certainly look forward to working with you, Tony, and getting an agenda together and a schedule. We're just starting that process. So Charlie and I are open to ideas and all kinds of suggestions. So this is the time.
Well, our people populate a lot of those panels. So you'll see many of our consignors there. If you do business with some of these consignors, there's no better opportunity to do that than to attend a car conference or a summer roundtable. So we always have our people in force at both of those meetings.
I'm going to take this opportunity. We're near the end of the show, but this is the moment where the roller coaster ride turns the corner. There's a photographer there waiting for us. So what's going to happen is I'm going to play the applause sound, and this is the moment that may or may not, but will, end up on LinkedIn as the group family photo. Is everybody ready to go?
It's the Brady Bunch.
Charlie.
Here we go. Now this sound is an applause, whether it sounds like it or not. Here we go.
Are we waving?
I don't know.
It's like the Brady Bunch. Yeah.
Right.
It sounded like you were crumpling up some foil and throwing it in the trash.
Yeah. I think all my sounds sound like foil. Yes.
Yeah.
Versus
We need a sound effects guy.
spoiled again.
I got a mixing board.
Yeah, there we go. Do we want to take another stab at it? That sounds really good.
Want to hear it again?
Yeah, I need one of those. All right, everybody wave.
Ready? There you go.
Good job, Gabriel.
Thank you so much.
That was good.
Arbitratable podcast.
Yeah, hey, we're going to put some new episodes together. We've been kind of looking at a different format, but soon, like I said, we're kind of waiting to see what kind of new NAAA policy stuff or whatever what initiatives we're going to tackle, and then use this arbitratable podcast to kind of help push to the masses. More education, the better, and then of course, supporting IARA and NAAA standards together has been fun. Can't wait to do more.
I was going to say that too. Actually, Jeff, I want to thank you for those 4 points that you gave, because it reminded me, it's the education that gives meaning to the networking, right? And now you've got really something to talk about, discuss, debate, tie.
So while I've got all of my superstar heroes for the last 20 years on the screen, one of the many roles I have at ATI is I get to talk to people that want to be a car hauler or maybe are a car hauler but need some help. So I'm going to ask you guys just a few quick questions just to make sure I'm right, because if you're watching this show and you don't really know anything about car hauling, you might be wondering, why is this a car hauling channel? So the reason that this is such a big deal, guys, is because if you think about where you go, by the way, when I'm done here, if I'm wrong, just tell you're wrong. But these are the people, if you think about where do you get the majority of your cars, if you're a load board guy, if you're a direct customer guy, you go to the dealer, you go to the auction, okay, where are you getting your cars, right? So we learned a lot in the last month about what's going on in the auction world. The auction, I walked out a used car week and I thought, are we going to call it the war of the auction or auctions at war? I don't know. There's an online auction, there's a physical auction. What are we doing? Now I'm looking at this from a car hauler standpoint. So where I'm going is I'm saying, is it fair to say that if you guys are the meat and the potatoes behind what we just run in, grab a car and get out. That's all we want to do. But you guys have put this whole thing together. Is that a fair assessment? Kinda, maybe.
You know what? I'll jump in, Ty, and just say, years ago the auction lane was created to create efficiency in the marketplace, and I've questioned whether the auction lane is an inefficiency in the marketplace. Are there other ways to do it? And I know that riles a few people, but I got to say right now the auction industry is doing great for the reason that they're providing other services rather than the lane. And the lanes are still doing fine, but there's also the reconditioning and the rebuilding, and cars need to be marshaled before, as Jeff repos one, it needs to end up somewhere for a period of time perhaps and needs to move on. So to the extent that, you and the business of car hauling, the car has to make it from the owner to the new buyer. And again, whether that's from the finance company to the customer, but maybe it's the dealer to the customer. But the auction or the remarketing industry is playing that important role because, again, these are large, expensive items that have to be perhaps stored for a period of time to get from point A to point B. And we need the haulers to help out in all of that because it was short or long, they play such an important role of getting the product from where it was to where it needs to be.
And
that's great. Thank you.
Yes,
yeah.
Thank you. And that's where, so what we're trying to help do is, and this is where, Dave, what you said about auction remarketers and giving a voice and bringing a community together, and what you said about the doubters, woof. I think I was, that's exactly, Ty knows so well, that's a big part of my day is trying to bust through the doubters. The thing is that bringing community together for the purpose of education, growth, learning, networking, and business is no small foot. Matt.
You got dumped that time, dude.
I know. I get dumped at least once a show, and it's my show. You'd think I'd have control over this.
What is that?
Like was that a question?
Right. Well, the question is pending.
Well, again, here's where I'm going. I'm like, okay, these are people that really know what they're doing. They really do it every day. And this is a huge part of our ecosystem. So I'm happy to not only meet you guys, but, I mean, here's the thing. We actually, I get a lot of phone calls, weird phone calls. Like, how do we deal with this? Man, this network is getting bigger and bigger. And to be able to hand a dealer off to a guy like Matt, or here's Charlie, or here's Jeff, or, I mean, wow, this is awesome. Sorry if I get so excited, but this really is cool.
Well, it is, and what we're trying to do also is be a part of the documentation in case in 50 years anybody cares what it looked like back in when people still spoke to each other and stuff like that. We're part of that documentation. And so we can't thank you enough for being a part of our journey as it intersects with your journey. So thank you.
I will, if I'm around in 50 years, I will be on the show, I promise.
Yes.
Call me.
Yeah.
Count me forward to that.
Yes, that's two.
I want to see Langley in 50.
Yeah.
Tony said he would come as long as everybody else came.
Yeah.
Tony, by then I want you to shake the accent.
And there won't be any more arbitration. Will be beyond there. No one will. It'll all be agreeable. Every purchase will be perfect. Nothing will be rejected. All grades will be equal.
Thanks to the arbitratable.
It's unbelievable the progress that's been made.
Wow. Great show, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well,
Really
thank you very much
Thank
for the
you.
opportunity. to
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. I'm out.
All right.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
evening.
Martin, Jeff, Charlie, Tony, Matt, and Ty. Thank you all so much. And that's a wrap.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
I've got nowhere to go.
That about sums it up.
I'm on the bed.
Let's just keep chatting.
I'm going to remember that crack you made, Jeff. That was a good one.
Hey, you can talk more than it's just fantastic. That's all I can say. It's a skill I do not have.
I'll see you guys.
All
Right there,
Good night,
everybody.
you guys. And that's a wrap. And we're back to camera one. That was fun. It is a joy for me to get the opportunity to host these panels of, it is, Ty said it well, superstars. And so thank you all so much for hanging on with us. I want to thank everybody. First, I want to thank my panel tonight. I want to thank Martin of Bobit Business Media for helping kick off and create such a great issue with so much information. And Dave Langley, thanks for joining us and telling us the story of the founding of IARA. Matt Arias, thank you for taking the time, and the Arbitratable podcast. Be sure to look for that. Thank you, Charlie Vogelheim, Tony Long, Jeff Bescher. That is a star-studded panel for sure. Sure do appreciate it. I also want to thank everybody that was in the live chat, saying hello, sticking around. Thank you, John. Really do appreciate that. So much EV stuff coming up. And yeah, we're moving on, man. 2021 is almost over, but we still have some more good shows in us. And thank you in the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Mark Grodeke, Superflow Systems, and Super Dispatch. Thank you so much. And we also had in there Austin Ledgerwood with a super chat. Thank you so much, Austin, for ringing the super chat cowbell. Of course, I want to thank ACV Auctions, Superflow Systems, Murphy Auto Transport, Auto IMS, and Black Widow Imaging. Thank you so much for your participation and support in this channel. We're looking forward to, we've got coming around the corner, like I said, next Tuesday night is new car hauler hurdles. And where did that money go? So that's next Tuesday night. That's an important show. We're really going to be focused on carriers. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to hit automotive trade shows again, because we're going to be talking about, we got NADA coming up, March Car Conference. Actually, I was making a list today. There are so many shows to talk about. So guys, thank you for taking the time to join us on Automotive Late Night on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Stay safe. I hope you have a good December. I hope it brings you the things that you need in the timely fashion you need them, so you're ready for 2022 as we move forward together. Thank you all so much. Have a good night. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Please be sure to join us tomorrow on DOT Compliance. If you got a regulations question, that's the show. We got your DOT guy and DOT expert, Brian Riker. Thanks, everybody. Good night.